Welcome back to another exciting episode of Watchers on the Couch. Tonight we're talking about episode 3 of season 5. Hi, Sparrow. I'm Tim Pickerel.
I'm Sarah Hedrick.
I'm Mike Devron. And we were watching... Oh, you just said that?
I did say
episode
that.
5. And it starts off with Arya, however you want to say it.
It's Arya.
Arya Stark. And she gets to go into the House of Black and White, and she gets to sweep floors. And that's all that happens.
Pretty sweet gig.
Yeah,
you know?
nice sweep floor, sweeping all day long. Mm-hmm. Then we see a guy taking a drink from the little...
It's like a well or a fountain or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he's sipping from a bowl.
Should have a fountain.
It should. It's
And,
more like a puddle.
Yeah, it's kind of boring in there. I think it needs some windows too.
I think it might be
Right?
I think that might be the point.
They're gonna have a lot of. They have to have a lot of people just going around making fires all day. So I'd put some windows in. I mean, you know, it needs decorations.
You must
This
spruce
house
it
needs a
up.
makeover. Crash your house in black and white.
Wait,
Next
you
up
mean-
on DIY channel.
You mean this door is as fancy as it gets?
So he takes a drink out of the well, and he chose poorly.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
He walks off, stares at like a torch for a while,
Then
and then in the next camera cut, he's dead.
Or is he?
no.
Oh yeah, I guess. Well, he seems to be dead.
I'm
What's
sure he's dead.
bottle?
Oh, he's dead.
I'm not dead.
Just because a man goes like this doesn't mean he's dead. I think it kind of leaves off there, but it comes back if we want to just stay on the topic of
We might as
her.
well stay on character.
Well, she gets beaten by a cunt, and
Which is my favorite punk band, by the way.
yeah, beaten by a cunt.
It's a great album.
And she's about to get needle and stab her, and then what's his name walks in?
Jacques and Hagar.
Jacques and Hagar. I'm gonna have to start saying these names out loud more so I remember them instead of just saying that guy or that girl.
That
The
guy.
guy with that face that
You
didn't
know
have
the guy
You know, remember
that
helped
did
her
that
out, killed some guys for her. Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
The guy. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Okay. And he stops and says they were saying playing the game of faces. Is that
That's what,
she,
that's what she
cunt
called
said?
it. Yeah. As far as we know, her name is Cunt.
Yeah.
So.
And said that she wasn't ready, and she is still Arya Stark, has all her possessions, so she decides to get rid of all her possessions, or almost all of her possessions, and she ends up hiding Needle in some rocks,
Yeah.
and then she's sweeping floors again.
Yep.
She goes downstairs, by some fires, more fires.
Yeah, well, yeah.
See, if they had windows, and there'd be fires. And then they wash a guy. Yeah, wash a dead guy.
They give a sponge bath to the dead guy.
Mm-hmm. It's like, what do we do after we wash him? And the cunt gave that look to her like, you know what we do with them.
What do they do with him, Mike?
Fuck them.
Oh,
Wow.
that's how they roll. in
That's
the House
how I
of Black
took
and
it.
White. Well, yeah, no. I mean, I can see how you'd get that from that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like the logical conclusion.
What do you really think happens to the bodies? Like, if you're going to speculate, what do you think, they really do with those bodies?
I don't know, because that wasn't the only guy that you saw.
Right.
You know, it seemed like they're just taking more bodies and more bodies downstairs. Like,
Yeah. It's like, where do they go?
do you have to die before you can be a faceless man?
Or do they use the faces of the dead men?
And he never... Ooh, hello. Oh, that's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Maybe that's what the look was. Like, we use their faces.
We're-
Have you picked up on this yet?
We're
We
going to get
take
some...
their face off.
We take their soul. See, the good thing, they wouldn't use me because, Ginger, I don't have a soul, so...
Right. No, we know
I'd
what
be
a good,
safe.
we know what a good job for a ginger is. It's
Son of a
digging,
bitch.
digging latrines.
I am so offended. Ginger's only good for digging shitholes.
Well, to be fair, you're the squad captain of the shithole diggers.
Well, I guess if you want to look at it positively.
The good news is after you dig your shithole, you can pour ale in it.
Well, yeah.
You can pour ale in your newly dug shithole.
But hey, if I was a leader, maybe I could just tell other people to dig the shithole and be like, you're doing a good job. Yep. And I'd be sitting there drinking some ale.
Mm-hmm.
And
then you'll
then I'll
fill the
piss
shithole.
the ale into the shithole.
That is going to be a shirt eventually. We're going to have to do the "Don't put ale in your shithole" T-shirt. I'm convinced of this.
Okay, so we were talking about what they do with the dead bodies.
Yeah.
We were thinking, use their faces, which, I think that...
That seems logical.
Maybe. For this show, maybe.
But wait, does that mean... That would have to mean that at the end of season... I don't know if it's 2 or 3. This is season 5. So I guess it's the end of season 3. When... Jaqen H'ghar kills all those people, and he changes his face. That means he was keeping a face in his pocket the entire time.
Or did he have 2 faces on the entire time?
Oh, right.
It's like that Tom Cruise movie,
The Mission Impossible thing.
You have
I forgot about that.
You have to peel the face off.
How many faces do you think they're wearing underneath those faces?
Layers. So many layers.
I'm curious if Arya is going to become a faceless man. Because they never say faceless woman.
So you think it's like a sexist thing?
I don't know.
Or you think she's going to switch gender roles?
And they say, what if she does switch genders? Can you just switch genders?
So basically, you're saying they're going to
sounds like
attach...
fun.
They're going to attach more than that dead guy's face to Arya, is
That's
what you're
I'm
saying.
thinking.
Okay.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's also a logical conclusion.
Or are they just genderless?
Well, I mean, you couldn't just have the face of a man and the body of a woman. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can nowadays.
Yeah,
there's a few TV shows on now.
Right.
We should also be doing podcasts or something.
It's gonna be everybody's turning into Bruce Jenner in Bravos.
The House of Bruce Jenner.
All right. Well, I think that's all that happened with Arya, wasn't it? Or was that... Am I missing something? Is that where we left her?
Sponge bath, and I think that was it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Hopefully, he washes balls real good.
Yeah,
They're gonna
really.
steal his balls.
Yeah, you can't walk around with a dirty man's
They look kind of
balls.
old.
Balls.
Yeah.
That water looked dirty. It did not look clean.
Is it the same water they drink to die?
Probably.
Cleaning them,
Don't touch your face out.
probably makes them dirtier.
That's so gross.
That's why people are dying. They're drinking dead man water.
Dirty dead balls.
Yeah.
Dirty ball water. No. I knew this would be the end of me. I should have opted for the ale.
This is the worst ball water I've ever drank.
And I've had balls wiser.
But oh my god. Okay, well, if that was it, then I guess we went over to King's Landing and saw Cersei and Marjorie, or Queen Marge.
Queen Marjorie.
Queen Marjorie.
So
Your
there
name
was
is being
a-
called out just like I'd be calling it
Marjorie.
Love you some Marjorie, don't you?
out. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I was in bed with her instead of the king. Wish I was the king. Yep.
I was
Face, neck, and chest. Marjorie.
So we had the wedding. Nobody died. So
Yes.
I don't know what to think about this. No, they have to die at the wedding.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
And then Tommen got laid. Tommen got some. Now I don't know how
Is he
old
like 12?
I think he's
Sounds
like
it.
he's like really in the book. He's really young, but
Oh
yeah,
my
he's.
God.
I'm assuming he's.
Queen Marjorie is like a cougar. She's been married 3 times. This will be her 3rd marriage.
Was she ever? Oh yeah. Well,
She was married to a Baratheon, wasn't she? Or
yeah, she was married to Renly.
And then she married Joffrey, but that was never consummated. So, and I wonder if with the Baratheon, what's his name? You just said it.
Renly.
I wonder if that was ever consummated because he was
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, sir. He liked men.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at was he like they were talking about
Hard ones.
they were talking about is if she one of the girls if she was pure in virtue or something. So I just wonder if if she had ever consummated any of her marriages, except for the obviously with.
I don't think Well, no, I think she does. I think she joins in with Loras and Renly in season 2.
Okay.
I think, or is it the end?
I don't
of
remember,
season
but that does
3?
kind of sound right.
Like she goes into the tent while they're going at it, and
things happen.
She knew stuff was going on.
Okay.
So she either was just a watcher, or she joined in. We don't know for sure. But this is like the second scene in the show, and her and Tommen get it on. I was pretty sure that we were going to continue going the route of no boobs for the episode, because she had the blanket. Apparently, you just can't show boobs after sex in the show anymore, because she was covered with the blanket too.
I guess. Seemed like it. I was disappointed.
Or they just have to be like no-name characters to see the boobs.
Which I think is what I was speculating on the first episode.
Yeah.
When Mike said that Daenerys wasn't getting naked anymore. Or you said that.
No Daenerys, no Marjorie. This is...
Well, you see the back. You can see the back.
Let's watch that part again.
I
I missed something on that part. I
Cue that
think.
up on the
I don't
screen.
remember exactly what happened. Can we watch that again? Real
I don't
quick?
see why not. Yeah, we can cue that up.
She pretty much is starting to kind of manipulate him, because she knows that Cersei, is going to be causing problems for her. So she's already, thinking ahead, and she's been kind of doing this for a while, I think, setting that up for a long time, and now she's in a very good position to basically manipulate more and get her less power, less important. So Marjorie will have all the power.
I feel like Marjorie, like at the beginning of her being in King's Landing, she was willing to play nice and just ride things out. But as soon as Joffrey and Cersei were being shitty to her, it was like, well, okay, that's all for you. Now, when I get in here, I'm gonna take care of you, and I'm gonna be really insulting and call you grandma.
I loved how they were being so civil, but still so like mean to each other at the same time. That was amazing.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like a kill him with kindness kind of thing.
And then King Tumnus.
That's Narnia. Mr. Tumnus.
He tries to get his mom Cersei to go to Casterly Rock.
Casterly Rock. Wouldn't you be happy in Casterly Rock?
I just want you to be happy, Mom.
Far away from me. I'm afraid my wife isn't going to sleep with me with you here.
And I like sleeping with her.
I want to do it all day, every day, for the rest of my life.
And that's it. Nothing else.
I don't want to rule the kingdom. I just want to be in the sheets.
I want her to rule me in the bedroom, Mommy.
This just went to a dark place really fast.
Wow.
Cersei's having a run-in with the... What are they called?
High Scepter of Seven? Does that sound like something?
No.
No. I just
Wasn't
made
that-
that. I
that
just
was-
made that up.
Are you talking about the old guy that gets whipped in the street, or are you talking about...
Oh yeah,
That was
that was the
awesome.
old guy that got whipped in the street. But it was
The High
the
Septon.
High Sparrow.
Sparrow.
She spoke to the High Sparrow because of the old guy that got whipped in the street, because he was supposed to be very, above all of it, and very religious and virtuous, and all that,
priest-like, and then he had to talk to all of them, and then one guy was like, "That's very shocking. I thought you only liked children."
Didn't think you liked
aren't you
grown
the
women. So yeah, he was in the brothel, got called out for it, and
He got whipped in the streets.
he got whipped naked in the streets.
And everybody's like, what the hell? I mean, that's not cool for you to do, except for the old man with the beard.
Yeah.
Or a man does in his private should stay private.
Man does with his privates. Just stay private.
Which, by the way, is the guy that chose poorly in Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Excellent. Yeah.
It's a nice little wrap up. So who is it that wants to kill the High Sparrow? Who said that they wanted to kill the High Sparrow?
The priest that got whipped was the one that was demanding Cersei have the guy executed.
Okay. So then Cersei needed to talk to the... See, this is where I need to learn the names too, because he needed to talk to the doctor. She needed a message sent out to Littlefinger.
Uh-huh.
And so while they were down there, you see the mountain in the background, and he moves, like, startlingly.
Yeah, that was a big jump. I knew it was going to happen. I thought it was going to be like a slow, like, stirring that you just see and then it fades away. But no, he starts thrashing around and
It's alive.
yeah, and he was like, "Hey, shh, Daddy's working. Be quiet.
Easy there."
So yeah, so she's sending a message to Littlefinger. Littlefinger, meanwhile, is taking Sansa back to Winterfell, which we get to see Winterfell again for the first time in a while. It's under control of Roose Bolton and his tortured buddy of a son, Ramsay.
Former bastard son.
Former bastard Ramsay Snow, now Ramsay Bolton. So Baelish is taking Sansa back to Winterfell, apparently to marry Ramsay. That's Roose Bolton's key to securing the North. Everybody wants to secure the North. That seems to be the ongoing theme. Sansa's originally hesitant, and rightly so. She's had a lot of shitty things happen to her in the span of this show. But eventually she goes along with it. I guess she assumes she's going to get revenge. Yeah, Littlefinger gets a message. We don't know what the message is. I'd be interested in knowing what that is. Roose Bolton was interested, but he got to read it. So we don't know anything. Everybody else knows except the...
That's what I was wondering. I was wondering if maybe I missed something.
No,
and, like, there was something hinting at something, or an earlier episode that I missed that, but I guess not.
No, I have no idea. I am completely clueless. Unless we all missed it. In which case, somebody listening can tell us what we missed.
Podrick.
Oh, so...
Teach you to use your sword.
Yeah, Brienne and Podrick are still... Brienne and Podrick are giving Mary chase. Not Mary, I guess, because they have to go around. Because they're taking a long-distance route back to Winterfell. To follow Sansa and Baelish. And we get to hear a little bit of both Brienne and Podrick's story, which we haven't heard much of in the course of this. How she became Kingsguard to Renly when Renly was trying to be king.
Well, Brienne, you beauty. You did call me.
So, yeah, basically Brienne got bullied as a child or a young woman, but Renly was nice to her. So that's why she was devoted to Renly.
How nice was he?
Well, he wasn't. He danced with her.
What kind of dancing?
Not
dirty dancing.
Not horizontal dancing, because he liked men.
Will I had the time of my life
until I got stabbed by a vagina demon. And the vagina demon had this face of Stannis, according to Brienne. I need to rewatch that because I don't remember seeing the face of Stannis in the Shadow Demon.
Or we could just watch this episode over again, because in the previews they showed a back flashback of that specific scene.
Well, I didn't pay any attention to that because I had previously seen all of that.
Well, there you go.
But she's convinced that Stannis was the one that killed Renly, so she's sworn to kill Stannis. Meanwhile, they have their little story came with a touching moment, and Brienne's finally going to teach Podrick to swing his sword and ride a horse. Which you'd think
Brienne the horse.
And fight.
She's going to teach him to ride Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh, poor Sarah Jessica Parker.
You'd think that after how long have they been on the road? How long has it been since they left King's Landing? You'd think you just learn how to ride a horse by being on horse for that long.
You would think so, right? I mean, days, months, like, has to be months and months that, or I don't know.
At least weeks.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could figure it out. Like, if I was on, like, a horse, and I would think I'd do pretty well. I know he's clumsy, whatever, but
Right.
when I get the hang of it.
And it's not like you're only on the horse for like a couple hours a day. You're on the horse all day long. How? Like, I've never ridden a horse. Spoiler alert, Tim's never ridden a horse. But I think...
Just riding that pony all day long.
I could ride that pony.
Jump on it. My saddle. It's waiting.
But yeah, anyway, he should know how to ride that fucking horse by now.
Didn't he make swords? Wasn't he like...
No, that was Gendry.
Oh, again, okay.
You're thinking of the guy that had sex with the red lady and...
Oh, yeah.
Then
Yep. Okay, sorry.
Davos put on a boat and sent him off, and then we never saw him again.
Right.
Where is Gendry?
That's the question.
He, apparently, like last season, when the show was on, it was a big thing. Like, everybody on Twitter was asking, where's Renly? And the guy that played... Or not Renly, Gendry. And the guy that played Gendry would tweet, still paddling.
That's pretty awesome.
I'm eagerly awaiting the 6th book, so I know where some of this stuff is going. But this season has diverged quite far from the books, so it's one of the reasons. Like when the show started, I was like, I really like seeing because the first season was almost exactly like the book, and it's like it's really cool to see all this stuff, and then as the show kept going on, it's like, oh, I'm going to finally get to see this in person. But I don't have the shock value of seeing it like that everybody else has, like the Red Wedding, Joffrey's finally choking to death. I knew Ned Stark was going to get decapitated. So I never had the real like surprise value going into the show unless they diverged from the books. And Twitter and like the whole nerd universe gets pissed off when people diverge from the source material, but I like it because it actually gives me something that I'm not expecting. So I'm actually glad. I actually think they've kind of done it better than the books in some ways. I like the Tyrion and Varys side party that's not in the books. It'll be interesting to see how the Sansa and Ramsay thing plays out because that whole storyline is different too. But yeah, so far the Jon Snow stuff is fairly similar. So speaking of Jon Snow, let's catch up with Jon Snow. Who wants to cover Jon Snow? Or at least the topic of Jon Snow. Nobody has to get on top of him.
No, I'll get on top
before
of
we do that,
Okay.
do you guys hold on. Before you do that, do we want to kind of continue with because we were on like Baelish and Bruce Bolton and Sansa?
Did we not finish that?
No,
Oh, okay.
there's a little bit more that happened there.
Well, because Theon Greyjoy, he sees Sansa, but he tries to avoid her as much as possible. Doesn't want to,
Right,
see
because she'll
him.
recognize him.
Yeah, and then he overhears the conversation of Bruce Bolton and the bastard.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
The bastard? Ramsay.
Ramsay. I was going to say Ramsay, but it didn't sound right. Okay. And what happens in that conversation?
After Ramsay leaves... Are you talking about after Ramsay leaves or the actual conversation with Ramsay? Because the conversation with Ramsay isn't that great, except that he mentions that he's attached to her over their travels. But it was Roose Bolton that was talking about like her still maintaining her virginity and blah, blah, blah. Or Baelish was telling that to Roose Bolton, and Roose Bolton's basically planning on throwing her in the brothel for all he cares because all he wants is the name so he can rule the North.
And there's a lot of tension there. Like, this could be a good situation for Sansa because she's so close to who she wants to kill. So maybe
True,
she'll get
but
that chance.
it seems like there's 3 bitches that want to kill her first, though.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about because I was like, who are those girls?
Yeah,
like,
I didn't know who they were
why are
either.
they
Oh, you
giving
don't
dirty
know?
looks?
Oh, seriously? You guys don't remember?
No, who are they?
Okay, so do you guys remember when Reek was getting his dick cut off?
Oh, yeah.
Those were the girls that seduced him to get him hard. So then Ramsay could come in and basically slice away. And so then in a later episode, a couple of the girls are chasing one of the girls that was with that group through the woods because Ramsay apparently had an eye for her. and she wanted her dead. So they were chasing her, hunting her. So these girls are crazy. They're as crazy as Ramsay are.
I didn't realize those were the same people.
Yeah.
I didn't either. So that makes a lot of sense. Ooh.
Yeah, so Sansa needs to watch her ass because those girls are going to come after her.
Yeah, and Sansa isn't like Arya. She's got like no fight experience whatsoever. She didn't have a sword master.
But Ramsay, is talking to Lord Baelish and says that he gives his word that he's not going to hurt Sansa. And you know how we can trust him because he gave his word.
He's a very trustworthy guy.
I mean...
Well, Baelish pretty much says that, too. It's like, I don't know who you are.
Well, he still got those 3 crazy bitches around, and we all know what he's like, so yeah, that's just bad news all around.
Yep.
Well, I suspect... Well, I don't know about suspect, but I hope that we get a Reek redemption.
Reek redemption,
And...
Maybe he'll grow some balls. Do something because he didn't have anymore. Yeah.
I think he still has the balls.
He's got the berries but no twig.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Well,
we assume
because we assume. I don't know.
Why would you assume? You'd figure I'd just cut it all off.
It's a poor assumption. I'm not going to lie, but yeah, there's no advantage just having a sack of balls just hanging around because that just means you have a place to get kicked, and that's the only thing they're good for.
Yeah.
So
technically, you still have babies.
Oh. How?
Somehow.
How?
Maybe just so you don't have to like. Maybe you'll have like.
This is.
Moving on.
No, draw a picture. How would this happen?
I'm not finished.
If he has one of those crazy girls, go down on him.
Oh God.
Go.
I don't think I like where this is going.
No.
I don't like where it's going.
We can move on. That's fine.
So Jon Snow.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Jon Snow. So Jon Snow is now Lord Commander at Castle Black. So the first thing we see is him talking with Stannis. Basically informs Stannis, I gave my vows to the Night's Watch, so I can't become Jon Stark and ride north with you, even though I kind of want to. I'm honor bound to the Night's Watch. And Stannis goes, you dumb son of a bitch. Which is kind of what I'm saying, too. Should have taken the name. Should have rode north. Should kill everybody.
But he has honor.
But
Rule the North.
Rule the North. Yeah, he has honor. And honor doesn't get you anything in this show.
No, but
honor,
he doesn't know that.
Well, he should. He should.
Jon Snow knows nothing.
He really It's true.
He just knows how to be very pretty.
Yes.
With his pouty face.
You refusing.
So he refuses Stannis' offer. Stannis he respects it, but he kind of storms out. But Davos gives a little few parting words that his vow is actually that he's shield against the darkness, so he should be able to leave Castle Black and ride north. So we'll see what happens with that. I'd like to see that, but they pretty much hint at Jon's going to talk to that giant redhead guy that they captured and that they still have locked up. I forget his name. Tormund? I think it's Tormund. To see if he will lead the wildlings with Stannis. But at any rate, it looks like we're going to get to see a fight at Winterfell before the season's over, which is going to be awesome. But back to Castle Black. Jon is giving his first orders. His first order is that we need a latrine captain.
Need a shithole.
Need a shithole. And you see some eye play between him.
We know how those gingers like digging in shitholes.
Well, we were getting to that.
Yeah.
It made it seem like he was going to give it to Alistair Thorne, because Alistair Thorne's been a real cock gobbler since he met Jon. So
Yeah,
always
been a real
shades
dick
Jon.
butt.
You can't be mean to people all the time and not get some kind of comeuppance. You would think, but it wasn't. Jon was nice enough not to assign Lord Alistair Thorne shithole duty. Instead, he gave it to the Ginger. But the Ginger took it well.
He seemed to enjoy this. Yeah!
I'm going to dig a shithole.
Yeah!
What? That's better than going north and getting eaten by a wildling. So.
I mean, we all need somewhere to shit, right? So I guess I'll do it.
Somebody's got to dig a shithole.
Yeah.
Might as well be me. No, Alistair Thorne, he actually promotes to First Ranger, which is what his uncle was. Which is... I don't know if Alistair Thorne's grateful or not, or if he's still resentful that he's not Lord Commander. Maybe a little of both. But he's going to send Janos Slynt away, that bald, graybeard guy who was cowering with women and children during the assault at Castle Black. Oh, and Janos is having none of it. Refuses his order. Then what happens?
I won't have it, boy.
He won't have it!
You hear me? I won't have it. Yep. So he's like, "You refusing my order?
Are you refusing my order? Get my sword."
So they take him outside, and his new First Ranger's in the way. So there's just a slight moment of tension, and he lets him pass.
Yep. Alistair Thorne steps aside, gives Janos Slynt up.
And that might kind of unite a little bit of the crew there, I think.
Maybe.
Just maybe a little bit. I don't know. And chopping the guy's head off might help a little bit, too.
Well,
Maybe.
yeah, they're not going to
Or
cross Jon Snow anymore.
Yeah.
Or maybe that half of the people that were against him might not like that he just chopped off a brother's head.
You think they're going to rebel?
Maybe.
You think
Yeah, but
they're
they
gonna...
didn't really follow him. You know what I mean?
No.
I know that he's kind of one of them, but they weren't really following him.
No, but
You know,
they
he was
followed
their leader.
Thorne.
He was like his Thorne's little bitch.
Yeah. So, yeah, it basically all hinges on how what Thorne's attitude is.
He seems like he's going to step in line, or he's just going to play the game till he gets a chance to, I don't know, get the best of Jon or put him in a situation where he get killed or something.
Everybody plays the game.
You want to
think
play the
I
game?
think he's playing games. Love games?
Do you love me? Do you love me, Thorne? Do you love me, Thorne?
Maybe I will deal with that.
You playing your love games?
Maybe I'll deal with it the way I dealt with with Renly Baratheon.
This is a picture of ale.
You ever drink ale from a shithole?
This is a picture of ale in a shithole. It's a picture of ale so close. You get a big sweat.
This is as close as you can get to a shithole with their eyes being brown. Oh, so many inside jokes that Sarah doesn't get. Which makes it funnier.
You have to watch old Greg.
You have to, Mo Greg.
With my downstairs mix-up. That's what we should call Greyjoy. He's like old Greg.
Old Greg Joy.
Yeah, old Greg Joy. With his downstairs mix-up.
Holy shit.
I know some people who are listening to this episode, they're going to love that. That alone is going to make this episode for them.
Okay, so chops his fucking head off.
Chops his fucking head off.
Cut his fucking head off.
He does what his father taught him to do. Swing the sword himself.
Yep.
First scene we see with old Eddard Stark. He's cutting off the head of somebody from the Night's Watch.
Yep. That's exactly what I thought.
It's kind of come full circle.
Mm-hmm. Full circle jerk. With his daddy.
Wait a minute.
I mean...
That's actually most of my notes.
Well, and then
For the most part, the only thing we haven't covered is Tyrion. Who wants to cover Tyrion?
Sarah?
Okay, sure. Tyrion's still in transit. He's in the carriage with Baldy McBalderson. I forgot his name again.
Varys.
Thank you. So he's in there, and they're bickering like an old couple. Like it's ridiculous.
It's good times.
Yeah. So Tyrion just keeps saying he wants out. He wants to walk. He wants to get out of the box. They're so far away from home. So like, who's going to know him? So they stop the carriage and they get out, and there's all these ex-slaves, or they are still slaves.
I think there's
Tim, you got your wish. He came out of the box. So we can see him a little bit out of the box.
Get my dwarf out of the box.
Yeah.
Which is the opposite of what he has done usually in the past, which is come in a box.
I see what you did there.
Yes, there's lots of slaves.
Yeah, so there's
Turn
lots of
up, yeah.
slaves. There's a brothel. There's a high priestess.
A red priestess.
Red priestess, and she's basically
The priest is red.
praying away the grayscale. Is that what she was doing? The stone faced or whatever, like trying to help.
Yeah, kind of.
Like the little girl in Castle Black.
Yeah.
And she's praising Daenerys, which is an interesting kind of turn of events. You have one red priestess that is backing Daenerys, and one red priestess who is backing Stannis. But if they're both backing, I mean, who's seen what in what flames? If he is the one true flame god, somebody's vision has to be wrong.
And either she recognized Tyrion, or she's like, "Hey, baby."
Yeah, there's some serious eye contact going on.
Yeah, I haven't seen me a dwarf in years.
So,
Ever since my days in the brothel.
yeah.
So speaking of brothel, that's the first place Tyrion wants to go.
Right. So they're at the brothel. They find this. They're talking, and they meet this girl that's at the brothel, and she's got what was it? A skeptic mind.
A skeptic mind.
And that was what turned Tyrion on, but not enough, because I think he was thinking of his ex-love, Shay.
Think so?
Yeah, I do.
It's entirely possible.
Either that or he just could not get it up. I don't know. He needed some Viagra or something.
Having trouble coming in a box.
Yeah,
Can't keep the dwarf in the box too long.
that's right.
Is it the box that scares him?
He's afraid of boxes. All kinds of boxes now. It's just he's got box phobia.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible.
Whether it's a real box or an innuendo box or
Yeah, this poor
any box.
brothel worker. I mean, she just wants to get paid because everybody else is wanting to get the one that's dressed up like Khaleesi.
And she even gets turned down by a dwarf now.
So we've got the Khaleesi prostitute dancing around, and there is somebody who is not happy about seeing that.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Old Jorah Mormont is hanging out in the same brothel. Jorah gets kicked out of Daenerys' service, I guess, last season because she finds out that he used to report to Varys on behalf and was accepting orders from Robert Baratheon. So he's there, and he's not particularly happy about being there, and not particularly happy about the Khaleesi prostitute. And the last thing we see, he nabs Tyrion while he's out on the ledge taking a leak. And he says, "I'm taking you to the queen."
But which queen?
Which queen?
Because I said when we were watching it, oh, well, I guess he's just going to get to the queen maybe faster.
Yeah, because you were thinking Daenerys. Because he wants to get back to Daenerys.
Oh, yeah.
Or does he just want to cover his ass and get back to King's Landing and give...
And he knows there's a ransom out, and he knows who he is.
Yeah, we don't know. And the previews didn't seem to help. So, speculation, who's he taking her to? Who's he taking him to?
I think Cersei.
You think Cersei?
Yeah, absolutely.
You still sticking with Daenerys, Mike?
Yep.
I'm on the fence. Could be either. I'm going to go Daenerys as well.
Are there any other possible queens?
Marjorie, but...
Yeah, but I don't think he has the word spread that there's a new Queen Marjorie
If
yet.
the word spread about the ransom on the dwarf, then
I mean, as long as the word is legs.
Right.
Spread the word.
Man, I'm just on fire.
It's that ginger hair.
It's out of control.
All right, I'll get back in my shithole.
You're a hot shithole tonight. All right, and I guess that's where we'll leave it then. I'm Tim Pickerel.
I'm Sarah Hedrick.
I'm Mike Davron.
And now our watch has ended. Until next week.
Bye-bye.